I am Dion, aka Miss Jovial. Thank you so much for coming by my channel. So if you be so nice and kind to like, share, and subscribe to my wonderful channel, and make sure you comment, let me know what I'm doing, what I'm not doing. I can take it because I got that New York thick skin. I am here to share my experiences about moving from the Windy City to New York. And let me tell you, it's worth vlogging. I'm going to share with you the good, the bad, and the ugly. I was tired of Chicago. I worked for Chicago Public Schools as a speech therapist, and I knew that something else was waiting for me someplace else. You ever had that feeling that you kind of outgrew the place where you lived? It's like, I want to try someplace else. I want to do something else. Last day of school, I got up and walked around my room. I started crying. I was like, oh gosh, there's got to be something better than this. So I saw a map on the wall. I decided wherever my finger landed is where I was going. I just want to try something new. Closed my eyes. Doo-doo, boop. New York City. Okay, New York, the Big Apple. Okay, cool. I can do it. I left work. I went to Marshall's or TJ Maxx, I can't even remember. And I got 2 large suitcases. Now, I didn't have a lot of money. So I was going to New York with $2,000. Now that's not enough for anything in New York. See, I had been watching Oprah. Child, I'm an Oprah fan. And she was talking to Iyanla Vanzant one day. And one thing that resonated in my mind, Iyanla said that if you can't make yourself happy, then how can other people? So I had to make myself happy. I don't have any kids. I'm not married. It's time for me to jump. I went back to my apartment. I had a really nice apartment in the suburbs of Chicago. I started packing my things, got rid of stuff, started cleaning, like really cleaning. I didn't tell anybody for the first 3 weeks. The 4th week, I went over to my parents' house. I think it was a Thursday. No, it was a Friday. It was a Friday because I bought my 2 large suitcases over there. They were like, where you going? I said, Mommy, can you take me to Amtrak on Saturday night, which is the next night? She said, where you going? I said, I'm going to New York. Well, how long are you going to stay there? For a while. What's a while? Maybe a couple of years. What? You gonna go to New York? You don't even know nobody there. You don't even have a job. I'll be okay. But you know, in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh no, yeah, she is right. But you know, you can't show it. Can't show it. You gotta stay strong. Stay strong. She got on the phone. My mama gossip. She got on the phone, called my aunties, my uncles, my cousins. They tried to talk me out of it. No, you're not gonna talk me out of it because this is my life. It's time for me to live it. Next day, I went to Amtrak, gave them a hug. They weren't too happy now. My parents were not that happy about me leaving. But I knew I had to do it for myself. I got on the plane, I got on the train, and I met my very good friend, Mary. Now, I did tell Mary, I forgot to tell y'all that. Mary has supported me from day one. Anything that I tried, she was right there. Well, she decided to take the train ride with me because she didn't want me to be by myself. I thought that was very nice of her. We both met my BMF. My best male friend, Demetrius. That's my dog. That is my God-sent friend. He's from the Bronx, and he was trying to move to Chicago, and, you know, vice versa. So we met him, and we hit it off very well. We talked all the way to New York, just about. Even overnight, because, you know, it's a long ride. It's like a 17-hour ride. But we talked the whole time. I was trying to save a little money, because once again, how much money did I have to go to New York from Chicago? $2,000. So keep that in mind. We got there, and Mary's friends were waiting for her, and they wanted me to come with her, but I wanted to explore it on my own. We got to New York about maybe about 10 o'clock that evening, and I know you asked me where did you stay? Well, I ended up staying at a hostel. That's a place where people come from other countries. It's like a room. You pay about maybe $30, $35. It's cheaper than a hotel. The next day, I got up and went to the temp agency. I stayed in that office all day. Child, do you know by 4:30 p.m. I ended up landing a job, a full-time job at a bank on 6th Avenue. Glory, hallelujah, hallelujah. I have never in my life got a job that fast. Because I'm a talker. I'm a talker. I like to negotiate. I like to talk. And I guess I was entertaining everybody the whole day because they were like, we don't know how long it's going to take. I said, but in my mind, I knew somebody was going to call for something. I just didn't know what. It was for a data operator, a data specialist or something. I can't remember what the title was for the job, but it paid like $18 an hour. So you know I was making big bucks. And I started working the next day, and that's where I met my best friend, Anna. I love my Anna. We started talking. I think she's from the Philippines. And we started talking, and we hit it off really quickly. She introduced me to her friends, and I ended up hanging out with them. And she asked me, where are you staying? And I told her I was staying at a hostel, and she's like, no, don't stay there. Are you crazy? You know? So I ended up moving in with her. I know, I took a chance, but I moved in with her. She was so nice. I stayed with her for like 2 weeks, and then that maybe the third week, the end of the third week, I landed an apartment. Oh, this apartment, y'all, it looked like a closet. It was like $750 a month. It reminds you of a dorm, half the size of a dorm, because I couldn't get a bed in there, girl, child. I ended up getting a futon, and it fit perfectly in there. It was a queen size futon. It had a regular size refrigerator. It looks like a bassinet, a kitchen. I'm sorry, not a bassinet. Did I say bassinet? I meant a kitchenette. It looked like a kitchenette. It was clean. I was happy. It was in Washington Heights. I lived right off 157th and Riverside. And it was so cute. I was just like really excited because it was inside of a brownstone. So that was my very first apartment. And then the week later, my parents came down and brought my things down. So I was really excited because this was my first New York apartment. I didn't go to Brooklyn or Queens. I stayed in Manhattan. Right off the #1 train. When my parents got down there, they were just in awe because they could not believe that all of these things that I was doing happened in 1 month. Yeah. So when they left, it really sunk in. It sunk in. I'm in New York City. This is where I want to be. I just had the first couple of days after I moved, I just enjoyed the nightlife. I walked around, and I was just meeting people. I ran into my hairdresser, and we were talking, and she's like, oh, who does your hair? And I was like, nobody yet, because I just moved from Chicago. She said, oh really? I always wanted to go to Chicago. And you know, and then she told me she was a hairdresser, so I ended up going to her. And that's where I met my other good friend, Tasha. So me and Tasha really hit it off really good. And child, I just had me a time of my life. We were hanging down, and we were eating, and I was just enjoying that New York life. The subways, oh my gosh. You know, it's been a while since I rode the subways because when I was in Chicago, I had to take the subway to school because I went all the way on the west side from the south side. And just to be on the subway and to see so many people perform for money or begging for money, well, not begging for money, asking for money. And it was just a whole new world for me, whole new world. And I remember one night specifically where I got my hair done. I got off work about 4:30, and I got to the hairdresser like at 5:30. And I did not leave there, y'all. I did not leave the hairdresser until 1 o'clock in the morning. Oh yes, 1 o'clock in the morning. Y'all know, some of y'all know, y'all got them all night hairdressers. 1 o'clock in the morning. I could not believe it. Okay, it was just crazy. Well, I told him I wanted to go to a club, but I was trying to hurry up and get there, and at 1 o'clock. But one thing about New York City, it never shuts down. So when I left the hairdresser, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get on the train and I'm gonna go to the club at 1 o'clock in the morning. I got on the train and I went to one of the clubs on 28th Street. I cannot remember that club. It wasn't Chocolate City. It was, I can't remember the name of the club, but it was jumping. House music all night long. And the idea of me being in New York and jamming and dancing, I was like, ah! And that's where I met Mr. I have to tell you about that during story time. Mr. 3 things I want you to remember from this video. 3 things. Number 1, don't tell anybody your plans, because they will try to talk you out of it, or they'll try to belittle you. Some people have tough skin, while others do not. You will have to develop tough skin. Number 2, believe in yourself. Nobody else is going to do it, and no one can do it better than you can. And number 3, focus on the end result. Don't worry about the how, where, when, why. Don't worry about that. You worry about the end result. Where do I see myself? See, when I decided to move, I saw myself in New York. That's what I focused on, the New York lifestyle. That's what I focused on. You can do it, but you're going to have to devise some kind of plan and get up and make some action behind those plans. Talk to you soon. Peace.
Oh, Miss Jovial, Miss Jovial.